People DM me a lot and they ask like, "Oh, I really want to do this. Like, how do you start?" Like, and I never like had this goal, you know? Like I never was like, "Oh, I want to be famous," or like I think that's a really confusing goal to when people like dream of like being a star. Like that's like a confusing goal to start with. When I would write music, it was just pure flow. It was like I would do it. I didn't care whatever happened to it. It was just like the action was my favorite thing to do. And
Cause I'm slipping through the cracks in the floorboards to the apartment below us.
hi, I'm Maude Latour, and this is The Makings of an Artist.
Someone turn the temperature up. Cause I'm slipping through the cracks in the floorboards to the apartment below us.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to the Makings of an Artist podcast. My name is Sebastian Cowsill, and today we have with us the incredibly hardworking young artist, Maude Latour. Thank you so much for being here today. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great.
Good. First thing I love to ask everyone is when did your love for music begin? How were the introductions made for you?
Interesting. I guess I started playing violin in like kindergarten. My mom played violin. And so I started doing Suzuki method and I would do it at the talent show. And then some girls would sing at the talent show. And by second grade, I was like, I want to sing at the talent show. And so my friend taught me the first song I ever learned, I guess, on the schoolyard every day after school, and she, like, taught it to me by, like, being like, "Up, down, like, good," and she'd coach me every day, and then I did it for the talent show, and it was the best thing of my life, my favorite day of my existence, and then I joined a choir. That was about 2nd grade. It was 2nd grade, and then I joined choir and I've been in choir ever since. I fell in love with choir, and I did it until senior year, and that's really where I started. Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, you fell in love with the stage after the talent shows and choir and whatnot, and later down the road, then you'd get home and write day after day, song after song, really for yourself, not with the idea of a career and goal in mind, like just for you.
Mhm,
What later inspired you, though, to jump into the actual music scene and be a musician?
mhm. Yeah, that's interesting. So in high school, I moved back to New York City. I was in Hong Kong before, and I joined an a cappella group. That was, like, a big part of my life, and choir, of course, and then, yeah, I started writing music. I really wanted to write music. I thought I could. And, I do mention that always that, like, at the time, it was people DM me a lot and they ask, like, "Oh, I really wanna do this. Like, how do you start?" Like, and I never, like, had this goal, you know? Like, I never was like, "Oh, I wanna be famous," or, like, "I wanna be be, like, successful." Like, and I think that's
Mhm.
a really confusing goal to when people, like, dream of, like, being a star, like, that's, like, a confusing goal to start with. Like, for me, it really always started when I would write music, it was just pure flow. It was like I would do it. I didn't care whatever happened to it. It was just like the action was my favorite thing to do. And so I wrote in I wrote at least like 200 songs in like a year or two of high school. And um finally then for my senior year project, like we had to do something and they were like I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna record one of them. I'm gonna get one of them recorded." And that's when I recorded "Shoot and Run," which was my first song that I ever released, and it got added to a playlist, and then, like, I was like, "Whoa, cool, I can write so many more," and that's how it started. Yeah.
How old were you when you first took it from the notebook to the public?
I guess 17. I guess I released some things on SoundCloud before, but I was like, I saved up my babysitting money and I was like, I'm going to have a real producer do it. So yeah, I guess I was like posting things on SoundCloud. I'd post covers on Instagram all the time. But yeah, I say that Shoot and Run like was the product of like 200 songs before it, of that it was. I knew when I heard it, I was like, this is it. This is the song. My friend recently reminded me of a time that we in senior year where I showed a recording of it to her and I was like, I told her, I was like, this is the best thing I've ever written. I know this is the song for sure. And so I was like, and even looking back, I'm like, wow, like I did know it was had that special something.
Why start the writing in the first place? Was it just a ventilation, let it out kind of thing?
I guess I hate to say this, but it was because of a heartbreak of a really was. And yeah, I was writing Lana Del Rey songs to start with, and they were like just New York City, like heartbreak, back of riding on the back of someone's bike, like what happened, summer love, like so that was like 10th grade, summer after 10th grade, and so that really kick-started it, and then I couldn't get enough of it. Yeah.
So you were 17 when you started releasing stuff. That's incredibly young. Was it hard releasing music at that age? Because releasing music at any age is such a vulnerable thing within itself.
Uh-huh. Well, honestly, it was for my senior project. I was so excited. I had no expectations at all. I think I wanted to get it to 10,000 views eventually, and because that's what I had on SoundCloud. And yeah, I mean, it came out, and my grade at school, I went to an all girls school, and it was just so tight. And it was so, everyone was best friends. I would perform like at the bitter end at different New York City like songwriter venues like throughout high school, showing the songs, and they would always show up, all of them. They would come to there were like 45 people in our grade. And so it was really for them. They knew all the words to Shoot and Run because I would play it at like assemblies and stuff, and it was purely like for me and my friends, and I totally did not expect anything to ever happen with it at all. So I don't think it was hard. I think I've always been like a class clown, center of love, attention. Like I think, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. But I will say though, writing songs became a lot different after releasing music. And I never had that same flow of like 200 songs coming back from school with no intention other than to write after I realized there was an audience. And it's been a difficult challenge to learn over the past 3 years. Like once you know there's an audience there, like how does that affect your writing? Yeah.
Hmm. Now we look at today, we jump there and you're in college at Columbia right now while doing your music. I want to say first off how incredibly impressive that is for how well you're doing and how amazing your stuff is to be in an Ivy League and doing what you're doing. I think that's so awesome, so empowering for sure.
That's so nice. Well, tell my management because they're trying to get me to drop out every time.
Do you ever find yourself drained though by doing both, or do you have a system that works for you that keeps it all organized, or how does that work for you?
Oh yeah. I definitely do find it. Well, I love it. I don't want to change it. I don't want to drop out. I absolutely love being in school. School is my inspiration. I write about my daily life. I write about what actually happens to me. And when I go to LA over the summers, like to do writing trips, like what am I singing about? Because every day I just go to a session, so there's no life happening. So I don't understand having my normal life be there. Like that's the part that's sacred and that I want to preserve. So school is that for me, and my classes have influenced me so much. I study philosophy, and it's so central to my music, and I like the value of art. I feel like I've learned so much about what I want to do, and I feel like I need that in order to. I only want my voice in the world to exist if it's a voice that I like think enhances like the narrative of the world, or adds something, or is like deserves to take up space. And I think I personally think that I need like my education to like validate what I'm saying if I'm gonna dare people what to believe. But yeah, I freshman year was harder, but sophomore year I got I got a single. I got a piano in my room. And that has been a great game changer because I need a piano in my room, and then it became a lot easier to write songs. But I'll go to sessions on the weekends, and I have a rule that I prioritize music if I'm above everything. So like there's no stress when I walk into music. I'm like, this is more important right now. But the friends that I have there are so supportive. They make all my music videos. Like they come to all of my shows. They they come on long trips. They came to Nashville with me at Wesleyan, all these other college shows, and they love they love like bragging about it, or like feeling like part of it. They're like my fake management, my creative team, and I I mean, oh my God, this is so lonely. Like, it's so amazing to have people there who feel like it's their project as well. So that's what I want for sure.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I know you said too in a past interview that if you were to just do music alone, you'd feel, claustrophobic. So I wanted to ask, do the two affect each other, bleed into each other ever? Or do you try to occupy one in a certain space in your brain and the other has its own place?
I guess they occupy different spaces, and when one stresses me out, the other one is my priority. So I use them as coping mechanisms for each other. But I definitely do think as as I fall in love with school, as I fall in love with my learning, or like philosophy or poetry or something, I prioritize letting that, absorbing that. So because I want my music to be my most inspired self. So um I they bleed into each other for sure. I use music to I use philosophy, I use school to inspire the music. But I would say they're two separate departments that, yeah, I have fun switching between. I think I need to be like eclectic and all doing a lot of things in order to be my most productive self. Yeah.
Hmm. Now, a question we like to ask everybody here is, what advice would you give to artists trying to make it today?
Uh-huh. I would say the best advice I got from someone was I went to a K Flay show. Do you know K Flay?
Mm-mm.
I bet you do. She sings It's Strange with Lou as the child. It was like a 2016 jam. Like it was great. So I went to one of her shows. She is great. I love her music. And I asked her after the show, I waited around and I asked her for advice. And she told me to perform live as much as possible. And I was like, oh, okay. And so then I really did do it. And I started booking, like, before I released anything in high school, I started booking a bunch of shows, and I would just invite my friends and show them what I've been working on. And that was so influential. It got people to care about like my songs. It forced me to get my songwriting better. And I did that for a few years before ever putting things out. So I think performing live, yeah, like booking a show like that and inviting all your friends, I think that's really the first step. Yeah.
Very cool. Now, a few questions about why you are here. By the time this episode is released, your newest single will have just been released. What can you tell me about it? What's it called? Where'd the story come from?
Ooh, it is called Furniture. Oh my goodness. It is my favorite song that I've ever written. But
Ooh.
I admit that I say that every time, but like really the time, guys. So I love yeah, this song. I wrote it after a breakup that I went through in the past year. And it became my little weapon. I kept it like I can only listen to my own music before it gets
Mhm.
released. And before it gets released, I listen to it 24/7, and I listen to this song every single day to get me through this breakup. And it gave my literal life purpose, just like having this crushing pain um have occur, and then being like, wow, I made something beautiful out of this, and and this is what I'm supposed to do, this is what my life is for, like, and this is my secret, this is my like intimate, this is my deepest intimacy, and like this is the best song ever, and this song is fire, I'm not gonna lie, this song is really like it's the rock pop anthem, perfection pop, like never been done before. Like it's so sick. This is truly, I will gas this song up forever. It's called Furniture, and I'm so excited about it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I love seeing you so passionate and animated about it. I love the energy.
Oh my gosh, thanks. Yeah, no, let me know what you think. I mean,
Definitely, definitely. Now, the last thing you did release was that first, official EP you made. What makes this song different from that piece of work, lyrically and sonically? Would you say it's closely related or something else? Or
so interesting. Yeah, I mean, Starstick EP, like, I am proud of the fact that it's not about heartbreak or pining or like drama or and I really do think it's like a philosophical like framework for like the world I'm trying to build. Like I think it addresses all the pillars that are like important to get to know what my existence is. And I've been happy that it's not like about romance really, and it's so much to me about freedom and the individual and like God and like what it means to be alive and finding transcendence in the world. Um and this song is about a breakup. Like I'm ashamed, but like holy shit, I didn't realize that. And I wrote a lot of breakup songs in the past year, and they're kind of fire. Like, oh, good. So, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I try so hard to deny that, like, these normal human feelings, like, actually have an effect over me. I want to just be able to live in the world of philosophy above my own head, like, and think there forever and be immune from the pains of daily life. But it turns out that, like, I am human as well. And I actually, my heart gets broken. And so, this is like, these songs are, I think, are my real daily life. It goes back to the details of like, okay, yes, you can be free and sick of small talk and wind blowing in your hair, riding your bike, talking to God, but then you also can get hurt and you have to get up the next morning. So what do you do? So that is the lyrical difference, thematic difference, I think. But sonically, I think this song sonically, I think it's a little more angsty, rocky, a little harsher.
Cool.
But yeah.
That's awesome. The true last question for you I have is, can you tell us if any more are possibly on the way? Is this going to be its own thing or?
There's more. Yeah, no, there's gonna be a lot more. I have a bunch of singles lined up, and then I think they will lead into an EP at some point. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Extremely exciting to look forward to in times like this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, whatever it does end up sounding like, I know I'm very excited to hear it. I'm sure all the people here are very excited to hear it. Thank you for taking the time to be on the show, though. I really do appreciate it. If people want to find you online, where can they go?
Um, Follow me on Instagram. My username is Maude Status. I don't remember why, but it's been that for so long. But it's Maude Status, Maude Latour. It'll come up. But yeah, listen to my music. It's Maude Latour, and yeah, Model Status. I guess you can follow me on TikTok or like Twitter too. But yeah, I'm most active on Instagram. Very too active on Instagram. So yes.
Beautiful. It's all right being active on Instagram. I like your daily like question stuff.
I am so glad. Yeah, they've been therapeutic for me as well. They're the highlight of my day. So
All right. Well, everyone go check her out there. Go look her up on Spotify too, Apple Music, whatever you have, and listen to the new single. Again, thank you though for spending some time with me. I hope you have a good one.
Thank you so much. Bye, Scott.
See ya. Another thank you to Maude Latour for coming on. The song playing right now is her new single Furniture, so if you like what you hear, definitely go listen to the whole thing on whatever you can. As always though, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, check us out on social media, and if you like perks like monthly bonus episodes, some custom playlists, and more, become a member of our Patreon at patreon.com/MOAA. Thank you guys for tuning in though, and we'll see you in the next episode.